Pakistani diaspora in the United States. Politically, they are aligned with which Pakistani political party?
They are unnecessarily involved in Pakistani politics, if I would say that.
Was America involved in toppling of his government, or he just made point scoring?
PTI leadership is asking help from United States. Okay, now, don't you call it they are trying to intervene now?
I mean,
this exactly.
Is important point. Previously, they said that US intervened, and now they are seeking US intervention. So, a contradiction in their own policy. Technically, is it possible for the American president to immediately intervene into a country and bypass judicial system and get a political prisoner released?
It's possible that, if there's a best deal on the table.
This particular diaspora connected with PTI indulge in activities which may harm Pakistan's interest in Washington. Please tell us what needs to be done so that they could be convinced that they may disassociate from such activities that are harming Pakistan. Is there any possibility that their mindset or their narrative could be changed?
Yes, of course. There's always. See, that's what I'm saying. The political people always see the possibilities.
To what extent it is possible for Pakistan embassy to control such people who are working against state of Pakistan in the United States?
Everybody need to be engaged, or the people who has crossed the lines, they need to be handled, not engaged.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to program Inside in V News English. Dear viewers, today we'll talk about Pakistani diaspora in the United States of America. When we talk of Pakistani diaspora in the United States, that is one of the most vibrant Pakistani community spread over different states of the United States of America. And when we talk of, again, Pakistani diaspora, it consists of Pakistani American physicians, it consists of Pakistani American business people, it consists of Pakistani American politicians, and it also consists of professionals from chartered accountants to engineers to technicians to white-collar job holders to people working in various American government departments. But those who are part of business, those who are doing private businesses and personal businesses, they're indulged in politics. I'm not talking of American politics. They're indulged politics of Pakistan in the United States. Even there is no harm. But to some extent, we have seen and witnessed the activities of Pakistani diaspora for a Pakistan-based political party. Even there is no harm. But the harm is they are inflicting to Pakistan. Just to show loyalty and solidarity with that political party, they are indulged in activities which are not compatible to their status. Certain activities are hostile towards Pakistan. We will discuss and all other associated topics with very prominent Pakistani diaspora member and who is also associated and working with Pakistani, with the American political system. He is prominent Democrat from Houston, Mr. Tahir Javed. Very warm welcome to program Inside in V News English. Viewers to make more comments about Mr. Tahir Javed. Tahir Javed Saab is based in Houston. He's prominent Pakistani business person, and in addition to business, he's very prominent Democrat leader and very prominent in Pakistani diaspora. And he has been very close to founder chairman of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. Despite that closeness, he has his critical, objective and balanced views. Tahir Javed sir, first tell us about Pakistani diaspora in the United States. As I said, they are spread over different American states. So politically, they are aligned with which Pakistani political party? Most of them.
Well, the diaspora in United States, they pretty much spread everywhere, but the thick population is in Houston, New
In
York,
Houston.
Chicago,
Hmm.
Houston, New York, Chicago, LA, Dallas, Atlanta, and a few others. But these five or six different cities together, New Jersey maybe, they together makes it 90% of the population. And then you have
Hmm.
little in a small different area pockets and somewhere else. And majority, like you already explained very well, they are well spread around. Majority of Pakistanis are in their own business, even if
Hmm.
they're a doctor. But this majority of the doctors has their own business,
Hmm.
and
They're running
so
their hospitals, clinics.
yes, on their own personal capacity. So why I'm saying that they are running on their own business, that makes them a little bit more free to get involved
Hmm.
in politics. And that's why you see them involved more in politics. I mean, if you're working for some organization, you have little protocols and bylaws and, to follow. But majority of us are basically our own boss, and we do whatever we wanted to do, and we just sometime, go into the area where, normally people doesn't do. And
Hmm.
that's the reason is that they are very well free. They're double free.
Hmm.
So
They're double
uh,
free. Good.
they
Yes.
basically, I mean, in US you can do whatever you wanted to do. Basically, I mean, you can burn a US flag and nobody will tell you why you're doing that. So this is how it is, and they are educated. If I would say that majority of them are educated, very limited people you would see today in United States. You can say that they are not really well aware of things, or so this is very dynamic community, I would say, groomed
Hmm.
dynamic community. They are involved in US politics as well. They are involved in Pakistan politics, and even the I would say the big majority, they keep their eyes on Gaza, they keep their
Hmm.
eyes on Kashmir and so much other.
And Pakistani politics also. Hmm.
Yes,
They
and
keep their
Pakistani, of course. They are unnecessarily involved in Pakistani politics, if I would say that. I mean, you need to get involved, you need to keep the eyes on it and all that. But, this is only in Pakistani diaspora you will see the where we live, we are less involved there. And where we
Hmm.
belong originally 30 years ago, we are more involved in those, issues and politics.
Although their votes, their registration is in United States, even some most of them are even not Pakistani citizens, but they are of Pakistani origin. Even there is no harm being connected back to Pakistan, because ultimately and originally they are from Pakistan. But over the last many years, I mean 3 years, we have seen since regime change in Pakistan that Pakistani diaspora in United States of America are seen engaged in some of the activities that have harmed Pakistan. They have made false stories at the Hill, and they have pleaded wrong cases against Pakistan that there was human rights violations. We have seen they have held demonstrations outside International Monetary Fund to block assistance for Pakistan. Why it has been so?
Well, first of all, let me clear this thing. There is not
Hmm.
one country on the earth who can claim that I have no human rights violation.
Hmm.
Every country, you have
Every country
incidents
across the world. Hmm.
across the world. You have incidents. It happens, and it's going to continue. All you can do is minimize and make sure that like. But even in United States, I mean, we have seen the movement when they, like the police literally killed a black person with the doubt that he stole some merchandise, like what, four
Hmm.
years ago or 6 years ago. So
Exactly,
this is
approximately, exactly five,
approximate
6 years.
5 6. It's not that it's 50 years ago that happened. So yes, you will find incidents everywhere. Now, the problem here is, which you just rightly mentioned, uh, before I get to the core problem, I wanted to say something else more. There are, like we established that there's a violation everywhere. Now, there are countries clearly doing the human rights violation on bigger level, like the unacceptable level. For instance, India. There are
Involving
area.
Indian occupied Kashmir, true.
Kashmir is one thing, but if you go to their mainland, I mean, of course, Kashmir is the disputed area.
Manipur, violence against
Exactly.
Christians.
You cannot, you literally certain areas you cannot really, slaughter a cow. You will be slaughtered if you slaughter. I mean, this is how far it is. Now, Israel, how many of us doesn't know what they did in Gaza? I mean, like the children, like God knows, but
Innocent
40,
women, children, they were
50,000 people.
slaughtered, exactly.
Exactly. So, did I see any Indian in New York protesting against India for doing the human rights violation? No. Did I ever witness any Israeli? I'm sure they think that, they worry about it, they don't like it, but they do not want to create more kind of like any situation for their country by protesting and by bringing them. And what Pakistanis are doing right now, and like I established, I'm sure there are some cases in Pakistan which is not acceptable, but that doesn't mean that you just go to some other country where you protest, and you are, and especially the most powerful country on the earth, where you not just have a good relationship with, you have so many different programs, from IMF to the World Bank and then down to the US AIDS. There are dozens of programs. They run together, both of the countries, for the betterness of the people of Pakistan.
Sure.
Now, when you are protesting and you're trying to put Pakistan into the watch list of human rights, basically you are trying to stop all those programs, because once Pakistan get into the gray area, get into the watch list, all these programs will be, they'll be freeze.
Stop.
And then
Exactly.
they'll stop, totally
Please.
stop. And we will go back to a time when sanctions were imposed on Pakistan. You remember that? And it took us 20 years work to get those things clear. What some of our friends are doing in United States, the protest, whatever they're trying to achieve, I'm not opposing to their goals, but I am totally not agreeing to their style. They may not achieve any goal because they are knocking a wrong door. But what they will achieve, they probably will put Pakistan in a situation, and we will have another 20 years to clean this mess in United States. So that's the nutshell. No other country I have seen that their diaspora is protesting against their own motherland, against their own, the country where they belongs to, and where they have their the feelings and heart hanging. So I think I would say, if I would like to say that, they're deep in love with a person, and they are reacting, and they wanted to burn the whole house, and that's how the bottom line is.
This is what the bottom line is. I would also like to seek your comment and draw your attention that over last couple of months, scores of letters have been written by the congressmen, by senators, to the US administration, seeking immediate intervention into Pakistan's affair. Pakistan is an independent and sovereign state. Why United States should interfere into the internal affairs? So, but if we look into the facts behind the whole move, there has been again Pakistani diaspora associated with Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf seeking American intervention into Pakistani political affair at a time when the founder chairman of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf has been saying we will not accept American intervention. So there is dichotomy within their political policy. Tahir Saab.
Yeah. Yes. Well, you again, I'm sure you have done a lot of homework, and you're saying everything absolutely right. These letters they are writing, in my opinion, before even, I don't agree with you with all these letters, but even if you wanted to write a letter, Did you write a letter to the Prime Minister of Pakistan? Did you write a letter to
Very important
Supreme?
point you are
Yeah.
raising.
Did you write a letter to a Supreme Court of Pakistan? Did you write a letter to an Army Chief of Pakistan? There are so many stakeholders in this country, in Pakistan, who are the decision makers, who
True.
probably can intervene and resolve the matter is dear to you. But did you do your due diligence? जो वो कहते हैं ना अरबी में, did you do your तमाम हुज्जत का, you call those people, you try to talk to those
Formality.
people?
Exactly.
Did you do that? If you didn't do it and you started from where you are going to a foreign land and different countries, now then you are not even asking them the right questions. Okay, even if you are seeking some help from a congressman, what do you need to do? You tell the congressman, please use your leverage, tell the ambassador of Pakistan or prime minister of Pakistan to look into this matter. But that's not that's again not what they are doing. What they are doing, they wanted to take this matter to the president of the United States. They want to take this
Exactly.
matter to the foreign secretary and asking them to kill the relationship on different areas with Pakistan, or put Pakistan in a situation where they probably get down to the negotiation table, not thinking. I mean, I don't have any knowledge, but I don't believe the communication in Pakistan, because Tehreek-e-Insaf is a big party, big opposition, biggest the opposition party. I don't believe that there is no communication between the government and the party. There are so many different groups there. They sit together. There are different committees. They sit together. There are judiciary committees. There's so much they're talking to each other. So if there is a platform to discuss, why this matter is not discussed on those platforms who are the legit platforms, versus going to a third country and asking them to intervene? And some of these congressional people, I think they themselves need to understand what they are doing is not 100% appropriate either. The one who basically sponsor those letters. Let me explain you. There's another thing. There's always only, you need one or two member of Congress who sponsor the letter. The rest of the people, when they sign, those people don't even look at it. They don't even read it. One staffer sitting down, who is like just maybe somebody who's doing the internship, is reading it and probably telling the congressman, well, there's no harm to your basic ideology, you can sign on it. Well, one of my colleagues asking me to sign on. So if you see 200 different signatures, normally
no impact at all.
There are two people. There are two people who are sponsoring it. Those two guys matter. The rest of them, they just give a favor to them, and tomorrow they need another favor. Now, these congressmen, I can name on your program. Some of them are involved because they are doing a lot of fundraising with it.
They do get funds, exactly.
They do get funds.
For extending these type of illegal favors, exactly.
Well, I won't call it totally illegal. I would call it like not appropriate.
Against the norms.
Not appropriate.
Against the norms.
Against the norms. And plus, when you doing that and thinking that by doing it you will raise more money, then it's totally not ethical. And I know some of these members of Congress, they're definitely doing it, because by doing these kind of actions, they raise 3 to 4 times yearly money than they were ever, successful to doing in their lifetime. So this is not kind of like wrongdoing, I would say, just from our diaspora, but some of the member of Congress, they are equally involved in it, and they know they are doing it wrong. They're only doing it because their funds are being raised for their next election.
Tahir Javed Saab, you have been visiting Pakistan frequently. You are very closely monitoring, watching, and you have been also very close to founder PTI chairman Mr. Imran Khan. Has in any of your meeting this particular thing was discussed? I mean, relations with United States, or in the last days when he was in trouble. Particularly, let's discuss last days. And while he accused United States of America of toppling his government, what was the fact basically? Was America involved in toppling of his government, or he just made point scoring by raising an anti-America point in among Pakistani people?
Well, I personally asked him the question, and
To Mr. Khan.
I did ask him. Yes, I asked him a question, and he tried to convince me that yes, and they have done in the intervene. One has to understand Imran Khan. Imran Khan, majority of the time, when somebody come and explain and make his first pitch with some evidence, either right or wrong, and once he makes his mind, then he stick to it. Either it's half a truthful or totally truthful or false. Then you basically he doesn't kind of like he stick to it as long he can stick to it. So I realized that whatever the information he had, he genuinely was believing in that have happened. I would put foreign minister of that time, Shahmud Qureshi, more. I would say. Kind of like hold him against this wrong allegation, because he should have done the whole due diligence that if that intervene, if somebody has done the intervene or not. So this whole thing started from him down there, and then I think PM Khan back then believed in it that that it has happened. But it's crystal clear today. If PTI leadership is asking help from United States. Okay, now don't you call it they're trying to intervene now?
I mean, this
exactly.
Is very important point. Previously, they said that US intervened, and now they are seeking US intervention. So contradiction in their own policy and in their own narrative.
I mean, if I tell you, let's assume tomorrow PTI come in power. Tomorrow.
Let's assume. Okay.
Let's assume. What will be their biggest problem, whatever they are doing today? You know what? I guarantee you that none of all these guys in diaspora in United States is doing it. I would say in future, Imran Khan will tell them we have done it wrong.
He will admit. He will confess.
He'll admit. I guarantee you that he'll admit this is all what has done is wrong. And tell his people you have done it. You took it too far. Well, so far, where they are, it's not. There's not yet into the area where it's going to hurt too much. But it's right on the. I think you are playing too much on the edge right now. If they continue pushing this deal. And then the regime change happen which is going to happen in January. Who knows? The new administration pick up these deals, and then they probably throw into the watch list. And I would like to mention you one more thing that we heard that there's a claim made that the President Trump will come in power and he promised.
I'm coming to that question. Yes, I'm coming to that question. So now in the United States, the political change has already taken place. The Republicans have won the election, and their president-elect, Mr. Donald Trump, is now the next president of the United States. Formally, he will be assuming responsibilities in January 2025. So there has been a lot of debate in Pakistan, in the United States, and Pakistani community in the US that first executive order Mr. Trump will sign that release Khan from the prison, or he will make straight away. Please tell our international audience, because you are being watched worldwide. Technically, is it possible for the American president to immediately intervene into a country and bypass judicial system and get a political prisoner released?
Well, I would say it's possible that if there's a best deal on the table, President Trump is a deal maker.
There is a best deal on the table.
It's a best deal on it. I'm glad you paid attention to the words. So the Trump has written a book on deal making, and he makes deal which is 80% in his favor.
80%
Okay.
in the favor of the president.
But in either in the president or in his personal favor. Now,
Okay.
now I don't assume, first of all, if he had made any promise, there should have been a video. There's no video. There is no tweet. There is no statement from his party or himself. So these guys are claiming, President Trump. So these guys are claiming that he promised us. We assume, let's take that as they are not lying. Okay, if that is true, then Trump is not going to do anything free. In the United States, there's no free meal. You heard that. Never. And especially with this president, no. Now, after making a deal, he can pick up a phone. But the question is, who is going to make the deal with?
Exactly.
The main person himself is in jail. Okay. Second thing is, he doesn't have anybody fully authorized outside who can make a deal. Number two.
On his behalf. Three, exactly.
And number three, there is not one person in the position outside in the world who would guarantee for for the PTI or the chairman PTI or former chairman PTI that he will do it what the promises are being made. Let's assume one more time they handle all these hurdles. You know what will be the deal? What is the top priority of Trump today? His top priority is to put China back to its place. Hurt China as much he can.
Sanctioning, more tariffs on Chinese exports.
Exactly. So even if remotely, if this is true, and remotely it get structured, you know what will be the structure? He will ask for the guarantees that you're going to roll back the CPAC again. The ask will be a lot bigger than you guys take. So is Pakistan ready to do that deal one more time? If not, then President Trump is not doing anything free. I can guarantee you this much. So
there will be tougher conditions. Exactly.
There will be a lot more tougher conditions. So I don't believe this is all I can call it. This is just a fiction. There's no reality to it. So, all those guys who are trying to achieve the goal, what they are trying to release the prisoner here, I think they need to put their efforts on the right platform. Speak to the authorities in Pakistan. Communicate with them. And I believe what is the politics? Politics is the art of possibilities. Find the possibilities in this country, and everything is possible here. I mean, of course they have the following. Of course they have the voters. Of course they have like a few pretty decent size of existence in the assembly. They have the government in one province of Pakistan. They're not in real bad situation at all if you look at it. So why they don't speak? Why they don't talk on the platform where they really can and do some give and take, and they probably get a better results quicker. But I think they are not trying to. I mean, this is another deal. I don't believe majority of these people wants Imran Khan to be out of the jail.
Most of the people doesn't want that Khan should have. Tahir Javed Saab, you have been visiting Washington frequently. I've also seen you in very powerful circles in Washington, the US capital. And it must be in your notice, as earlier we spoke about, that every country wanted to protect its interest, commercial, political, diplomatic, military, defense in Washington. And for that purpose, lobbyists are hired. This Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf has also hired lobbyists. So what do you think, hiring a lobbying firm or the lobbyist to raise their issues in Washington by a particular political party in Pakistan, to what extent this practice or this effort goes successful?
Yes, they have hired a lobbying firm. And then they changed the lobbying firm to it didn't. Honestly speaking, the lobbying firm, they take a lot more money from you, but that doesn't deliver as much because they
As per
believe
the
in
expectations,
no,
exactly.
they deliver in long term. I mean, if you hire somebody today, you probably have a 5 years before you know anything they have done. Now,
Hmm.
where it's more how they got those letters written and how they got those movements done, it's diaspora directly connected with the congressional people.
Hmm.
But at the same time, when you see the money is being provided, you see that when you see that they hired the lobbyist firm and they are doing a lot of fundraisers for these
Hmm.
congressional people. So there's a big chunk of money available.
Hmm.
So where this money is coming from,
This is
that's
important
another
point.
that so there are some multimillionaires in diaspora people. They are funding it, and there's a general public. The people raise money by, you know I'll give you you remember there was one congresswoman once called uh, uh, directly, but 2 years ago, or maybe not 2 years, but kind of like a year and a half, 2 years ago, when Khan was outside, she called
Hmm.
Khan and she was told they are going to kill him tomorrow. You,
Hmm.
so that's the information provided to that congresswoman. And this audio got leaked in Pakistan too, by the way, if you remember. So,
Hmm.
so, so when people exaggerate things, now he's
Hmm.
been he then we hear that he's been slow poisoned in the jail,
Hmm.
and then his sister come out and she made the statement that he's perfectly fine and there's no issue with that. So
Hmm.
this group, and they I don't know who are these people, but they claim they are the PTI supporters. they their bases are absolutely either exaggeration or totally lies.
Hmm.
And I'm glad when they go back to Khan and ask him, it's very healthy to hear that he doesn't lie. He said that I'm healthy. There's no issue
Hmm.
with that. So that tells me these people are doing all these things on their own. I don't think there's any instruction from him from the jail to go and have the resolution with the 200 people or do the letters to this and that. I certainly doesn't believe that he's agreeing to all that. This is whoever is doing it. They just trying to make these things for two reasons. And
Hmm.
what are the two reasons? Number one, they wanted to be prominent, to look in front of the people and showing their kind of like we are the leaders. Second thing,
Hmm.
there's a lot of money. If there's a lot of money, then obviously the money has a lot of motivations for people to continue what they're doing. I have
That's very
personally.
good point. Exactly, that's very good point you have made. But I would like to say not the entire diaspora is associated with PTI, and even there is no harm to be associated with any of the political party. But the
Mhm.
activities, the way you mentioned, this particular diaspora connected with PTI indulge in activities which may harm Pakistan's interest in Washington. Please tell us what needs to be done so that they could be convinced that they may disassociate from such activities that are harming Pakistan. Is there is any possibility that their mindset or their narrative could be changed?
Well, yes, of course, there's always. See, that's what I'm saying. The political people always see the possibilities. So
Hmm.
there are possibilities. The problem is that every single individual needed to be tackled or discussed or engaged differently. You
Hmm.
cannot engage all these guys
Hmm.
with the same formula. There are so many people. They trust me. They are making a lot of money by
Hmm.
bringing like kind of fantasy, or I would say the lies in front of people and showing them and playing with their emotions, and then turn around they make their ratings kind of like social media go up, and this is how they make money
Hmm.
from YouTube or some other social media platforms. Now, what is their motivation? totally to make money. They're making money. Now we need to deal with them differently, because when somebody has some income source out of this thing, they don't care about Pakistan. They don't care about Imran Khan. They just worry about the back pocket. Now there are some
True.
people. There are some people who are sincerely doing, thinking what they're doing is right, and they really wanted to help a former prime minister. Now those people, they're very limited, but they're genuine. If from here in the government engage with them and talk to them and ask them and tell them and explain them, give them the reality of the whole deal, I think those people need to be engaged rightly. Now there are some people who are doing basically criminal actions in this. Well, I think they need to be handled with a tough hand. So it's a different people. What is their motivation? What is their action? How they do that? And you know what doesn't fit in my mind? On one hand, there is a person who's very well instrumental, one or two or three people, very well instrumental in bringing these kind of resolutions and letters and trying to push Pakistan into the area where we will have a trouble. When they come to Pakistan, they were given a time to meet with the Prime Minister of Pakistan. I'm talking about Prime Minister Sharif. Why Prime Minister of Pakistan give that person the quality time to sit with him and offer him a cup of tea or the lunch if the person is involved in the activities which is totally against Pakistan?
And since it is your on-record interview, please do name a person so that government may rectify its mistake.
Well, all the members of PAC, they came here in last year and a half, and they all met with the Prime Minister. You know, President Asad Malik met with the Prime Minister. General Secretary Imran Sharif met with the Prime Minister. You know, there's so many others. They came one time with like 20 of together. You know, it's always difficult for the Prime Minister to meet with a bigger group. He met with everybody. So I don't understand this at all. You know, why I personally believe it shouldn't have happened. Because when these guys go back, their confidence even grow. Oh, we are totally free in Pakistan. Now, my question is, when you are totally working against the state and you go back and the Prime Minister is still meeting with you, then where is the human rights violation? You should be thrown in the jail. You should be asked questions. You should be in front of some interrogation that why are you doing that in Washington, D.C. I mean, if
PAC has done certain work which was against Pakistan,
if they're trying to do all these letters where the
job of PAC.
Exactly. So when they come here, so what I'm trying to prove is if these guys were not even touched, actually, but given a respect in this country from the highest office, then why they are still talking about human rights violation? Basically, it's other way around. It's another way. So it doesn't. You know what? Is somebody like me? I don't understand. If you came here and you met with the Prime Minister, and you are given and you go back and you're talking bad about the same Prime Minister, but did you ask Prime Minister here when you spoke about the issues you are talking on Washington, on the streets of Washington? My information, they didn't even bring this subject. They talk about investment and they talk about building a relationship. They don't talk about the issue. They talk in the corridors of Washington, D.C. It's a total contradiction. I mean, it's
in Islamabad they talk differently, and in Washington they talk differently. Lastly, we are closing our program. Tell us about the role of Pakistani ambassador and embassy in Washington. Is it possible for Pakistani ambassador and Pakistani embassy to control anti-Pakistan sentiments or any particular political group which is anti-Pakistan? To what extent it is possible for Pakistan embassy to control such people who are working against state of Pakistan in the United States?
Well, there is honestly, it's easy if someone else does it. If your
Mm.
own if your own children talking bad about you, if your own brothers and sisters talking bad about you, it's
It
always
becomes
difficult.
difficult.
It's always difficult. He ambassador took the job few months back. I believe he's trying his best, and he tried
Mm.
every formula. He
Mm.
he met with them people, invited them to his house. When when somebody opened the door for you, invites you to your house, and offer you the meal, break the bread with you, you
Mm.
you feel a little ashamed to talk about him. These
Mm.
guys turn around and then they make the talk
Comments.
shows. Not just
Mm.
they make the whole funny talk show about it, that he's scared. He was giving you
Mm.
respect. Then he tried to engage them on the webcam, and next thing we know that one of them started running the porn video on the webcam. I mean,
Exactly. It was hacked.
so
It was
so
basically a virtual meeting by the ambassador with the diaspora, which was hacked. Mm.
well, that's what we are saying is hacked. They need to investigation that it was hacked or one of them did it.
Mm. One
So
of them did.
so
Your
basically,
last
this is
word, please. Your
yeah.
last message.
My last word simply, I'm not. We all admit there is a situation in Pakistan that is a rift. It's a big rift among the groups of Pakistan, the parties of Pakistan. It should get to the normal work. Get to normalities. For that,
Mm.
everybody need to be engaged, or the people who has crossed the lines, they need to
Mm.
be handled, not engaged.
They
So,
need to be handled, not
I mean,
engaged.
sometimes I sit down and think why this government of Pakistan doesn't file the defamation case on the people who are unfairly going against them and bring in the false evidence. They should do
Mm.
that.
They
They
should be
they should
booked.
they
They
should
should
be
be booked.
investing
Exactly. Thank you
instead of.
so much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much
Appreciate it.
indeed, Mr. Tahir Javed, for a very vibrant, insightful discussion about Pakistani diaspora and the way this diaspora is indulged in some of the activities or act which are harming Pakistan. And thank you, despite your busy schedule, you spoke to
Sir,
Program Insight in V News English. And dear viewers, till our next program, goodbye and Allah Hafiz from studios.
thank you.